Hello, friends, family, and true crime aficionados. I'm coming from Omaha, Nebraska at Zorinsky Lake. It's a little bit windy today, so I don't know how the hell this is going to turn out. I'm just doing my intro here. I plan on doing the rest of it back at home because I don't have my stuff memorized, but I thought it's a nice, beautiful day. Take in some sun, some rays. There's been, in 12 days, there's been 15 or 16 mass shootings in the United States for the month of April. So I'm going to be on the lighter side today. I'm doing obscure crimes in America. Or not crimes, but laws. Because there's some weird laws out there on the books. And we need to learn about them. The first law that I actually do know off the top of my head is out of Hastings, Nebraska, that in hotels, men and women had to sleep in separate beds. So all hotels were supposed to have 2 beds, one for each of them. They're not supposed to sleep in the same bed, or if they do, they have to have blankets blocking between them. A little outdated, you know. That's what a lot of these blue laws are. They're outdated laws that should have gone away a long time ago. But before I blow away, or my phone blows away, I'm gonna head over back to the home and do it there. But look at how beautiful it is out here at Lake Zorinsky. You can walk, there's trails, there's sirens in the background. It's beautiful. Check it out if you're in the area, if you've never been. It really is a beautiful, peaceful place. So I'll see you back in a couple minutes. Hello, we're back. Hazel is in her ever predominant sleep state, and I'm here. So hello. I'm sorry about the intro. I know it was a little choppy. I went and re-listened to it, and with the wind it was a little choppy, a little hard to hear, but I apologize for that. But it was still beautiful out there. We're moved for the most part. Our house just went on the market today. So now I can start focusing on things that I love, like you guys. I love to entertain. I love telling stories and doing these videos. And I know I haven't done many this year alone because of the moving and all that stuff. Major depression hit me. But I do love it so. I love doing the research. I love this banter that I have with you guys. And I love editing. I really do love editing these videos together. You know, I love it when all of a sudden I pop up a picture here and, you know, pop up a picture here, video here, do things like that. The scrolling things that say subscribe. I love doing that, and it's something that I actually went to college for and put on the back burner for so many years. So I'm glad that I get to finally do it again. And it's for you. So, like I said, today I'm going to deal with some obscure laws. And some of these are no longer laws. They've been repealed, edited, changed, blah, blah, blah. But let's get started. Bath time. Okay, so a lot of blue laws are laws that put on the book because of whatever reason, politics, things like that. And some of them make no sense, but when they were put on the books, they made perfect sense for the time. Some are just crazy. Like in Salt Lake City, it was illegal to walk down the street carrying a violin in a paper bag. I don't understand any of the reasoning behind that. San Francisco, it was illegal to pile manure more than 6 feet high on a street corner. That I could understand why. That could produce a little bit of a stink. Some of them just have, common sense type of things. Like in Devon, Texas, it's illegal to make furniture while naked. You want to make sure you hit the nails and not the nuts. In Bozeman, yes, I'm back, people. In Bozeman, Montana, it's prohibited all sexual activity from the front yard of your home after sundown. Before sundown, I guess you can just screw like rabbits. But after sundown, don't do it. Some of the laws go along with scripture. Like South Carolina, it's legal to beat your wife on the courthouse steps on Sundays. I think that goes along with the rule of thumb, which was basically a law that it was okay to beat your wife or children as long as whatever the implement was you're using was smaller than the thickness of your thumb. So like if it was like a hickory switch that was smaller. And unfortunately, I believe that they still have, some places still has that on the books that it is okay. And by no means condone that. Hazel does not condone that. In Tennessee, you're breaking the law if you're driving while sleeping. You would think that would be common sense, but apparently it's not. At one point, New York had a penalty of death for anyone jumping off a building. One would think that you would die if you jumped off a building. So, counterproductive, I think. Whoops. Wisconsin, they have cheese related, imagine that, cheese related laws. Because they're a cheese state. West Virginia had laws banning lewd and lascivious cohabitation and conduct before marriage. It was repealed in 2010, but no premaritals, people. They'll lock you up. So then you can have premaritals in prison. Washington State, not DC, but state, it's illegal to kill Bigfoot. This was a law passed in 1969. So, I mean, it's not that old of a law. And it's punishable by 5 years in prison. The main reason is because the law states that Bigfoot is an endangered species. Now, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know if there really is a Bigfoot or not until it's proven. There's the possibility. But Washington State is making sure to keep it alive. Virginia, which you'd think of Virginia and you think of kind of a back hills area. It's illegal to hunt wild birds or animals on Sundays, unless you're hunting raccoons. So the poor raccoon can be hunted. If you're living in Utah, it is illegal to cause a catastrophe. So don't start a fire, don't start a flood, avalanche, do not start an earthquake. Illegal. I know that there's reasoning behind it, especially like with fires and explosions, things like that. That makes sense. But when they throw in, earthquake and things like that, a little iffy. Avalanche, I guess you can start an avalanche. You can collapse a building. So yeah, that stuff is okay. It's not okay, but I mean, it's possible. But earthquake, a flood is a little bit even hard too, unless you destroy like a dam. But I digress. In Los Angeles, California, it's illegal for a waiter to tell a customer that I'm an actor. Now, it states a waiter, so can a waitress say that they're an actress? I guess it's all in the wording. In Indiana, this is a big one nowadays. It's illegal to dress Barbie up in Ken's clothing. And I'm sure that's something that is really big right now. In Texas, this is a weird one. In Texas, it's illegal to threaten someone with an unloaded gun. Texas, they're all big on guns and everything like that. But don't threaten somebody with an unloaded gun. You can threaten them with the loaded pistol, but not the unloaded one. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. It's comical, like in New Jersey. When you get pulled over by the cops, they always say, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Well, people must have really ticked off the cops because they made a law that you can't respond by, "If you don't know why, I'm not going to tell you." It's an automatic fine of $300. Now, is that real or not? I don't know. I searched and I couldn't find anything other than that. In Iowa, After 5 minutes of kissing, you're breaking the law. In Illinois, it's illegal to give a lit cigar to a pet. According to this, in the United States, 24 states say that if your husband is impotent, it's grounds for divorce. In South Carolina, it's illegal and it's a misdemeanor to seduce an unmarried woman by using deception and promise of marriage. Now, it was repealed in 2016, but it's a little hard to find a date. Or, I guess if you're seducing her, saying that you're going to marry her, I guess somebody could just say that you're, being a bad boy. In Rhode Island, you can face up to 20 years in prison if you put somebody's eye out, slit their nose, ears, lip, or bite off a limb. Pennsylvania, don't try to sell your child. Apparently that's illegal. I would think that it would be a given, but apparently not. In Yamhill, Oregon, it's illegal to practice occult arts, fortune telling, astrology, phrenology, palmism, clairvoyance, memorizations, so forth and so forth. So yeah, don't do that. In Grand Rapids, Ohio, it's required by law that if your dangerous animal escapes, you must report it to authorities. So if you got that cheetah and it gets out, you better call them up and say, hey, guess what? My cheetah got out. Another one from out in New Jersey. Criminals can't protect themselves from bullets. If you're charged with a crime and you're wearing a bulletproof vest, you can get an additional fine for wearing that bulletproof vest. Kind of makes sense, I guess. In Kentucky, they had a law that you could not marry the same person 3 times. In Utah, first cousins can marry after the age of 65. One of the funniest laws that I found, and it has been repealed, so it that sucks, or it's been changed, but I really think that every state should take this on here. New Mexico had stated in their constitution that every citizen of the United States who is over the age of 21 years of age and resides in that state for at least 12 months and in the country for 90 days must register to vote for the next preceding election, except for idiots. Idiots, insane persons, and persons convicted of felonious acts. So if you're an idiot, you couldn't vote. I don't know what classifies you as an idiot, but they have repealed it. It was kind of funny because I actually read up on that one because I each one that I talked about, I wanted to make sure that it was legitimate. so I had to look them all up. And that one, it was repealed to or reworded because people didn't like the wording of sane or insane person, because that classification was insultive. The classification of idiot was not insultive, but insane person was insultive. So they changed that, and then they decided, we better change the idiot part too. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of these across the web that you can look at. Other countries have even more messed up things. Like Singapore, you can't chew gum in the streets. You know, I remember that one guy that spray painted, I think over in Taiwan, and got caned for it. He was an American. And that was a long time ago, but, you know, they're there for a reason. Whether we agree with them or not, it doesn't matter. If there's some stupid law in your area, talk to a congressman, get it changed. You know, I guess it's our right as citizens to get those things changed. Now, since I have moved and I'm going to start doing these more often, I promise you. Like I said, I love doing true crime. And if you looked at my computer screen right now, if you could see it, I have a whole bunch of files, one after another in a row, showing like the scripts that I read, and that I've started the research on all these different ones. I actually have a file of crime stories, and it is, I don't know, 10 pages long, maybe, something like that. I guess 5 pages long, but I mean, 5 pages long, double spaced, you're talking about 30 or 40 different story ideas that I have. And anytime somebody says, hey, do a story on this, I add it to that list. And I don't always follow it in row. I jump around trying to do things. And then there's a couple other ones that are not true crime. They're just interesting stories. You know, because I started this out as murder, myth, and mystery. You know, weird mysteries, murders, and myths. And I wanted to jump around, but I've stuck with mostly the murders, because there's a lot out there. I mean, if you just wanted to do myths, you can get that done pretty quick. But, oh my God, the amount of weird murders and crimes out there. And I'm trying not to be mainstream. I'm trying to stay away from mainstream ones like Dahmer and all those, Bundy. So I just want to entertain and educate and tell a story. So thank you for sticking with me for this 2 months hiatus or whatever that I've taken. It's been very stressful for me. And I missed you all. I missed the kind words. I've missed the messages. Thank you for not giving up on me. Please like, share, subscribe, post comments, share it with your friends. And until next time, It's me, Hazley Grace. Peace. Be good to each other.